Alright, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the UFC number 169. This is the the big fight for me because honestly it was the only thing that relayed anything to WWE. I think everybody knows that it seems like every time UFC has a big fight, Brock Lesnar can't stay out of the limelight. This is all about Brock Lesnar. Alistair Overeem came back. He had his fight tonight. He fought Frank Mir. Both of these guys have been known as the guys who beat Brock Lesnar. Of course, Frank Mir beat him in his opening debut fight, and Overeem was the last guy to ever beat him. It turned out that Overeem, honestly, cheated. He openly failed his drug test. Who knows if Brock Lesnar would be in WWE now if it wasn't for them not catching his drug test till after he had already signed his contract to go to WWE. But Overeem did beat this guy so bad inside the ring that Brock openly quit the match, and then in his post-fight promo just basically said, "That's it. I'm done. It's over." But in this match, Overeem laid off the horse meat. He stuck to his game plan. He went out there. He wanted to make sure that he didn't gas out. He was just throwing punches. He totally destroyed Frank Mir on the ground game. At one point, honestly, I think Frank Mir had only like one punch landed to the Overeem laying almost like over 50 punches. I mean, it was like boom, 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 boom. Overeem just totally destroyed this guy. If you would have went to the cards, I believe it was 30-27. And in the post-fight promo, I mean, that's what he said. I mean, he came out there, he just said flat out, "Hey, Brock Lesnar, I'm looking, I want to fight you." And basically, that's all he wants to do. Well, the only thing you can do right now, Overeem, is, basically get out of UFC, sign a WWE deal, and come over here, because there's no way in the world Brock Lesnar is crossing over to fight you, a known cheater in UFC. How you get away with this, I have no idea. Basically, I think that the way the whole thing went down, Overeem wouldn't take a drug test before the Brock fight. He kept on putting it off, and then when he finally said he was going to do it, he finally wasn't where he was supposed to be, this, that, or the other. Basically, UFC didn't want to look bad, so they let Overeem fight Brock without taking the drug test, and then boom. Hey, I don't know. Honestly, I think that there is a little bit of fun when you're booking opponents for UFC, because the one thing that really doesn't get me behind UFC as a big UFC fan and who loves professional wrestling. I mean, I do. I mean, there might be one thing about it, but at least the angles gives us a reason to why we're watching these fights. To me, just UFC reminds me of high school. And two guys duking it out in the quad, and you don't even know really why you're doing it, but you're watching it because they're fighting there for you. In professional wrestling, at least somebody steals somebody's jacket, this, there, or the other. Do I think Brock Lesnar is going to go back to UFC? Honestly, no. But, this makes it a little bit fun. What do you think they're going to do? Overeem, he needs something. He needs a gimmick. Brock Lesnar's his guy. It's the biggest win that he's ever got in UFC. And to call a guy back who openly quit, who has a whole bunch of stomach problems inside the insides, I don't know. But I think if Brock did get back in there, I think the one thing, if we ask the question, you got the insides, Brock, I think he could muster up. I think he could beat Overeem and end his UFC fight with one big win. It's just a matter of when Vince McMahon's going to let him go do this fight, because I think that if Vince McMahon is able to get inside that UFC contract and get a percentage of the fight, I definitely think he would do it, and I definitely think it is a fight that people would want to pay for. Brock Lesnar was a big UFC star, and I don't know. It's not risking a whole lot, because when Brock came to WWE, he was coming off a loss in UFC. So even if he went to UFC and he did do a fight and he did do one loss, all they really have to do is just have him come in the ring and destroy John Cena again, and he's going to have all his credibility back in WWE. It's up to Vince if he wants to do it. It's going to make them look like, he's on a larger, big old fight stand, because people look at, UFC as being real, and, WWE as being fake, and I don't know. You think this fight's ever going to happen, or is it just a whole bunch of bullshit for Overeem to get his face on SportsCenter tonight? I don't know. But it sucks to be Frank Mir losing his 1,000th fight tonight also.